Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another episode of Comic Book Origins, where we take a look at the first appearance of any comic book superhero, villain, or team. This time around, he's an admiral? It's Thrawn. I'm not a Star Wars Extended Universe guy, but I do know that he first made his appearance in a novel called Heir To The Empire. So guess what his first appearance was in comic books? Yep, it was the comic book adaptation of Heir to the Empire, issue number 1. So, sit back, relax, and let's get this party started right here with the cover. And I can tell you, that actually kind of looks cool. I mean, I would have no idea what this guy is in the background as somebody who doesn't follow the novels. But if you are aware that, hey, that's Thrawn, then I think that would get a little geek boner going. This is an interesting choice for a splash page, as it seems somebody is either entering or exiting hyperdrive. Okay, so that first page is like really useless because the dialogue right here says, Captain Pylon, the scout ships have just come out of light speed. We see the kid who's yelling out, and the captain's like, whoa, 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 you know, you don't shout out. You come to me, you talk to me. He tells him basically what we've already heard, and then the guy says, all right, keep tracking it. I'm going to be over in Thrawn's office. And so Captain, I actually think his name isn't Pylon. I said it wrong. It's Pelion, I guess. Anyway, he's going to see Thrawn. He climbs up some stairs, and there's this big guy with a sword, and he says, blast it, Rook. What do you think you're doing? And the big guy kind of retracts his blade and says, I'm doing my job. You may enter. And the captain says, thank you. And so we meet Thrawn, and he's sitting there. He asks Pelion, or whatever his name is, what do you think? And he's looking at some sort of holographic image. He says, it's very interesting, sir. And Thrawn says, all holographic, of course. Some of them are lost. Many are on planets now occupied by the rebellion. The scouts have returned from the Obara SKYE, I don't know Star Wars names system, were they able to tap into the central library? And Pelion says they got at least a partial dump. Apparently there was some attempt at pursuit. The wing commander thinks he lost them, though. And Thrawn says, no, I don't believe he has. Thrawn asks the captain if he knows about art. Captain says not really, and they find out that they're being attacked. The captain's first instinct is to get the hell out of there, but Thrawn says hold on, and tells them to send out a fleet of ships, and they find out they lose one of their own. That's when Thrawn decides, okay, we're going to do this one maneuver, but the captain's like, wait a second, that's a very simple maneuver. Nowhere they're going to fall for it, but the rebels actually do, and Thrawn gets the upper hand. He tells them it's because a certain species is heading, the captain of the ship is a certain species whose art he had studied, and he understood he wouldn't be able to handle the unstructured nature of the maneuver. So Thrawn tells the rest of the fleet, hey, look, we're going to be separating for a while. You set course for the planet Mirror. Apparently it's named by the same people who named Mr. Mitzvahptolakil or whatever this guy's called. And he tells the captain, for 3,000 years, both the Old Republic and the Jedi left it strictly alone. The explanation provided extremely useful. The first piece of the puzzle, an animal indigenous to Merkur, actually, the second piece lies on a world called Wayland. And the captain says, may I ask just what exactly this puzzle is? And Thrawn replies, why, the only puzzle worth solving, of course, the complete, total, and utter destruction of the rebellion. Da-da-da. We cut to Luke Skywalker. We see him. He's kind of meditating, thinking, Ben, why did you leave me? C-3PO comes up, and Luke tells C-3PO he's thinking about Ben, and C-3PO says he was always very kind to R2 and me, and Luke says, well, thank you. You gave me a new perspective. And C-3PO says, I beg your pardon? And we find out that the only reason C-3PO is even there is because Leia sent him, and she's kind of sensing his mood. Luke even notices, hey, she's got, she's practicing her new Jedi powers, but says to C-3PO he should go back and tell her, don't worry, because, of course, it just makes her morning sickness even worse, so apparently she's pregnant here. And we find out that, yeah, in fact, they are creating a new government. Then we cut to Han Solo, who's in a bar, and he's meeting up with another smuggler, and he says the New Republic needs people, and he wants to hire a whole bunch of them, and the guy's like, we're not going to trust you. You've kind of gone respectable. And he says, what are you going to do, work in Empire territory? Yeah, it's shrinking every day. And he asks them, so what's going on with that? And they hear that they've got this new guy in charge. Han asks where he could be found. The guy doesn't tell him and says, and besides, that backup is the worst guy I've ever seen. So, the dude leaves and Han Solo goes to his backup and says, hey, he says that you're the worst I've ever seen. He goes, isn't that the point? And we find out that Han actually had another spy. I guess he didn't trust that smuggler too much. Now we're getting to the problem with, I guess, comic book adaptation of novels. I have no idea who this guy is, but this girl comes in and he's like, hey, I want to make you my second in command. She says, you do that, I'm going to use the authority. And then we find out that there's a Star Destroyer that's come to orbit and they send a couple of shuttles down. But never once do they identify on this page who the guy is talking to the girl. So the unidentified man contacts the Star Destroyer, talks to Captain Pellaeon, and says that he's willing to help him out, but the woman is a little bit reluctant. She mentions the Jedi a little bit, and the guy's like, I wonder why this girl hates Skywalker so much. Cut to Thrawn. He's landed on the planet, and he's asking for help. I seek the Guardian of the Mountain. Who will take me to him? An arrow flies at him. He asks his guard, have you got the location? Yes, good. One of your people just shot at us. Observe the consequences, he says now to the guard, and he blows up a big old chunk of the construction, the alien construction. Those are the consequences of defying me. I will ask once more, who will take me to the Guardian of the Mountain? And they hear a small, I will. So an old man steps up, says he's the ruler of the area and that he'll take him to the Guardian of the Mountain. And when they're there, there's a lot of candles. And Thrawn asks about it, and the guy says, these are the candles of people who came here searching for the Guardian. And Thrawn says, what happened to him? He says, I killed them, and now I'm going to kill you. The old man attacks him, yet the attacks really don't take. As a matter of fact, they seem shielded, and Thrawn says, hold. As you can see, Guardian, we are not ordinary off-worlders. The old man says, you're not Jedi. How do you do this? Join us and learn. I am Jedi Master. I join no one. Thrawn says, then permit us to join you and permit us to show you more power than you've ever imagined. And the Jedi says, very well, come, we will talk. Whom do we have the honor of addressing? I am the Jedi Master Joruus C'baoth. Joruus C'baoth, but... And we hear Thrawn say, Sst. And Joruus says, you will now tell me how you defeated my attack. Thrawn says, let me explain our offer. Joruus says, you will now tell me how you defeated my attack. And Thrawn says, these creatures you see on our back are Ysalamiri. They have an interesting and possibly unique ability. They push back the Force. I have never heard of such a creature, the old man says. I don't know the ability itself is fuck a donkey. I have never heard of such a thing. How could such a creature come about? Thrawn says, I don't know the ability itself is sufficient for my purposes, and that purpose is to defeat my power. We needed to make certain you would allow us to identify ourselves and explain our mission, that being, all in good time, Master C'baoth, after we had a chance to examine the Emperor's storehouse inside Mount Tantus. So, the mountain is all you really want. I hope to find a genuinely practical cloaking shield. You want the Emperor's little toys. Why are you still sitting here? I also require the partnership of a Jedi Master like yourself. Ah, this. I take it is where you offer me all of the power I could desire. I am a Jedi Master Grand Admiral Thrawn, not a mercenary for hire like your Nagiri. Oh yes, I know what your people are, the Emperor's private death commandos. Name your price. I have all I want or need, Grand Admiral Thrawn. You will leave Wayland now. I need your assistance, Master C'baoth, and I will have it. Or you'll do what? Have your Nagori try to kill me? It would be almost amusing to watch. Perhaps I'll seek challenge in your destruction. That would hardly be challenging for a man of your skill, but you probably have other Jedi under your command. Other Jedi? There are no other Jedi left. The Emperor and Vader destroyed them all. Not all. 2 new Jedi have arisen, Luke Skywalker and his sister Leia Organa Solo. And what is that to me? I could deliver them to you. Both of them? Both of them. Mold them, change them, recreate them in any image you choose, and there's a bonus. Leia Organa Solo is pregnant with twins. Very well, General Admiral Thrawn. In return for the Jedi, I will assist your forces. Take me to your ship. I gotta say, of all the book, the only page that I would consider absolutely useless is this one, or the previous one where we learn that basically the smugglers don't want to have anything to do with the Republic until they find out what the rules are. And I'm thinking if they got rid of the first page that talked about it and just said, what was your findings? And then we hear that he went on the mission, it would have relayed the same information. But then we join Leia and Han as they talk about the fact that Akbar and Phila, I believe her name is, was fighting anyway. And then we're told that Leia's got to go on a mission, but Luke is requested to be there too because the people they're going to meet are very hero-oriented and they want to meet him. And Leia's like, hey, Han, look on the bright side. It's you, it's me, it's Luke together again, just like the old days. And Han's like, huh, yeah, just like the old days. And so the Millennium Falcon reaches the planet of, I believe it's called Bimisari. And Han's like, yeah, they're fur and moving plant specialists. And Leia tells him to calm down. And Chewie says he doesn't want to go off the ship. And Leia's like, it's all right, Han. If you want to stay aboard, the Bims won't be offended. I just thought it would be nice to have a little extra backup along. The Bims are very friendly people. There won't be any trouble. And as the group exits the ship, C-3PO greets everybody and says that they ask that Han leaves his blaster on the ship because weapons of violence aren't allowed. Yet Han notices they do not take Luke's lightsaber, and they're questioning why. Like, you know, maybe they think it's just part of the uniform, or maybe their scanners don't actually read lightsabers as weapons. And they're told that their negotiator is not quite there, so the gentleman who is greeting them is saying, okay, I would like to take you on a tour of the area, maybe go to the market. They get to the market, and of course you got the usual people offering things. Han says, can you have our guide tell him that I'm not interested? And they're like, where the hell is our guide? And Leia's like, I have a bad feeling about this. So Han notices the big bads coming up against him, and he's kind of like, who are they? Don't know, never seen anything like them, but those things they're holding are the Stokuli sticks. They shoot a paralyzing spray net 200 meters. They're hurting us toward the down ramp. We're doomed. I think it's time to pull in the welcome mat. Better give Luke a shout. He can't help us. Why not? Because they've got him too. So there you go, gang. That is the very first appearance of Thrawn. And I'm not well versed in the extended universe of Star Wars, but I gotta tell you, I like this. But I've heard of Heir of the Empire for a long time, and I might have read this back in the day, but I have no real memory of it. It's a fun book. I could see that. It does have a few problems, not letting us know who is who and what their motivations are here and there. But overall, it's a fun story. It gives us enough information of the bad guys. It gives us enough information of what the motives are for the good guys and everything. And of course, if you have any idea of what Star Wars is about as far as the movies are concerned, you can follow it pretty easy. Yeah, I'd recommend this book. If you haven't read it, obviously, you get the first issue here. But it's definitely something to look up. As far as Thrawn as a character itself, I got to tell you, right here in this story so far, nothing special. I've seen other admirals and grand moffs and so forth do a lot better. So maybe there are things that happen after this story that really put him over the top. But in this one, I'm sorry, guys, but he's just a little bit But that's my opinion. What is yours? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like and share, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you haven't done it already. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon or Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till, and helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos for you. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.